Well, the municipal elections will be taking place across Alberta on October 18th, and today we have the opportunity to speak with one of our Lethbridge mayoral candidates, Sheldon Day Chief, who is a former Blood Tribe councillor. Welcome to Bridge City News, Sheldon. So great to have you on today.
Thank you for having me on.
Now, first of all, can you maybe tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and why you have decided to run for the mayor's office?
Sure. I have, to begin with, I've been living here in Lethbridge for over 33 years. And I have a real, to myself, I have a real connection, a personal connection to the city and our community. First of all, my great grandmother, white-tailed deer woman, was married to Nicholas Sharon, who owned the Sharon mines back then. And they basically had a hand in starting our community here in Lethbridge. Back then, it was called Coal Banks, and she left after Nicholas Sharon drowned in the Oman River back in 1892. So, but that was basically her legacy, and so that's a real personal connection to me. Also, just making my home here in Lethbridge for the past over 33 years, I've had a lot of personal friends and family that have moved into the city. So I've raised my children around the area as well. So it's got me to the point where I was very concerned where we were going with in the direction that we are currently on with the city right now. uh, not to mention the crime wave that is rising continuously. But our standard of living here in the city of Lethbridge has really declined. Um, in my personal opinion, it's because we've never had a real interaction with our current and probably the past city council or city mayor for the past two terms. And it gets to the point where you wonder where you're going when you're not being notified or being told which direction or what direction or what decisions that they're making in regards to the city and its safe and um, its safety and everything. So that's what really kind of drove me into running for mayor. I've worked with various different organizations in uh, community planning and stuff like that, especially when I was in council back in 2008. I took the initiative to really promote the safety and healthy and well being of our community. So that's my personal reason why I'm running for mayor.
That's interesting, your background and also your connection with Nicholas Sharon, which of course is a well-known name here in the community as well. It's quite interesting. Now, Sheldon, you believe that our current city council is too divisive. Is that what you were saying? So how would you go about changing that? How would you bring people together when there are clearly differing opinions?
Well, first of all, I believe in holding people accountable and responsible for what they're doing, because being an elected official, you have certain conduct, code of ethics that you need to follow. And you have a huge responsibility, not to yourself, not to your personal opinions or your choices. You're at that time when you're making decisions for the city or for a large body of people, you have to put those personal, uh, you know, opinions aside and whatnot, so that you can make decisions as a whole for the best interests of your constituents. And so, as a mayor, I would definitely be holding people to accountable with their code of ethics and their code of conducts, and make them more accountable and transparent to the citizens of Lethbridge. And if they're still in a divisive mood or divisive action, I would definitely call them out and have them answer to the people to why they are holding themselves divisive from the rest of the group. because in regards to my plan that I'm proposing to the city, I'm trying to bring the community together. And when I say the community, I mean everybody that is, that stays within the city of Lethbridge, because I feel that only together that we can move and create a safer and healthier community.
So, do you feel that City Council doesn't listen very well then to its constituents? What kinds of changes would you put in place to give Lethbridge residents a more effective voice, if that's the case?
Well, I don't think. Well, yeah, that's part of the reasons why I think it's the citizens of Lethbridge are kind of in the awe of what's going on all around us. First of all, city council right now are not basically conversing or connecting with their constituents at all. There's no accountability. There's no information coming out from the leadership level to the community, so that the community knows what's going on. And I'll use the safe consumption site. When that was being brought into the city of Lethbridge, there should have been more consultation within the community, and especially with the businesses surrounding that center, how it was going to affect them. So there was poor planning, poor consultation, and it was done really without input from the community. So when you have situations like that are like a project like that that's going to affect the community as much as it did, and it created a real wedge between uh, uh, groups and stuff like that. There's got to be a lot of consultation going on and a lot more planning. You cannot just plop something in there without support planning it. How they're going to help the addicted to come off of those opioids. Safe consumption site, to me, can save lives, and it did. But how do you transition out of that addiction? There was no support programs.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna ask, do you believe that we need to set up another SCS in the city, or are there better solutions?
Well, I believe that's only one small portion of what people need that are addicted on opioids. That's only one small portion of it. If you're going to implement a program or a service such as that, there's definitely have to have planning that's going to have support programs for these individuals that are utilizing that site, so that they can have the counseling, so that they can have the treatment, so that they can have an avenue, so that they can get themselves off of those opioids. And where I'm coming in from is the plan that I'm using right now, or proposing to the city of Lethbridge, is that the city of Lethbridge has the support programs already. They have the budgets already to operate and to provide those services. Now, what we need to do is to streamline those services and get those services support programs together, so that we can all work together for the safety and well-being, not only of the person that's addicted to the opioids or whatever, but the city of Lethbridge as well. So if you're going to do that, you got to do it right. You can't just have a safe consumption site and think that's going to fix it all, because it won't. We've already saw what happened to it. So,
Now, Sheldon, as an Indigenous person, what would you like to see happen in our city when it comes to reconciliation?
well, I've been very active in our community in regards to that, and I started with my introduction into this interview. Um, I love teaching, and I love children. I like working with children, and the more I teach about our culture, the understanding and the respect, and really just the amazement that I see of children. There's more of that comradeship or partnership that is growing every year that I do it. And so within the city of Lethbridge, I would like to see where the respect and the understanding of not only the Aboriginal people, but we have a vast, a variety different cultures within our city now. And as you see with the Afghanistan situation right now, there's going to be more people coming in. So we need to interact with all the citizens within Lethbridge, and that's my goal. And that's part of the plans. What I'm trying to do is bring all of these cultural leaders and just the public together so that we can start understanding who we are. Even just promoting an international cultural fair type of thing where they could showcase their cultural dances or whatever their celebrations are, and just really introduce us to who they are. I mean, I believe in today's society, we're so intercultural connected already, but the understanding and the misconceptions of why people are coming to our country, and there's that I guess that racial thinking that happens from all of those misunderstandings. For the city of Lethbridge, I want to break that down. I want to bring people together, and I want people to understand each other and get
Okay.
to know who their neighbors are. So,
Yeah, interesting. That's a good idea. Now, Sheldon, let me jump into something else really quick here, kind of on the same topic a little bit with misunderstandings. But you got into a number of confrontations on your LinkedIn account calling people racist. Can you maybe explain what transpired there really quickly?
well, I'm a boarding school survivor, and I saw a lot of things. I witnessed a lot of things, and I went through some personal things as well. And when my emotions were tapped into that, I my emotions took over, and calling people out. Maybe I did it in the wrong way, but I wanted to call people out so that they can look at themselves and look at their comments and why they were asking those kind of questions and why they were responding to Mr. Or um, Yasmin Singh the way they were, and I guess it just kind of drove me over, over to that side of me, and I'm only human, and I'm full of emotions. I'm passionate what I do and what I talk about, and try to get the education. And sometimes people are so set in their ways, it's like having blinders on them that they don't want to see what else is around them. And for over how many years that we've been living side by side, and we as First Nations people, we've learned everything that we need to know about your culture, about your people, about your society. But how many of you can say that you know about us or speak our language as well as we speak yours? So it got emotional for me and stuff like that. And I, after thinking about it, and and some of the things what I said, I mean, I apologize for it, but like I said, I'm only human. And when the residential school issue all came out with the 250 from Kamloopa, you know it's um it's something that I've been walking around with. I knew the
Yeah,
truth that was going to
it struck
happen.
a nerve for sure.
That these it struck a
Yeah,
nerve,
yeah.
real, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And so, I responded, and maybe not in the best way, but I'm only human.
Thanks for sharing that. Absolutely. Thank you for kind of diving into that a little bit. So it looks like we are about out of time. We're so thankful that you were able to speak with us today. But really quick and wrapping up, what would you say to viewers? Why should they vote for you on October 18th?
Well, to the people of city of Lethbridge, we all want change. I guess to begin with, ask yourself what that change you want to be. What's the change you want to be? And are you happy with the current direction that the city of Lethbridge is on right now? And that has been for the last probably 8, maybe 12 years. And, and just, look at the other candidates, not only the mayoral, but the council candidates as well. I would suggest, in my opinion, to vote for those people that are talking the same language. Because once they are talking the same language, people are handing out campaign pamphlets. They are talking to individuals out there. So you, as citizens of Lethbridge, can hold your elected officials to what they are saying today. If they are speaking one way and they change when they come into city council, as we've seen certain individuals that are currently in council right now, I guess it really does fall back onto us on what we do to try and hold those people accountable. So, in my humble opinion, I do ask the city of Lethbridge, think about what that change you want to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be your elected officials that are going to be making those decisions for our community. And what I am presenting is a substantial and concrete plan that can happen. And if I can put myself out there, I will say, and I'll follow the presidential promises that Biden made, but there is a reality that I can bring forth a team within the first 100 days that will spearhead this movement that I'm talking about, the strategic plan. Because it's not only dealing with our safety, well being, it's also going to deal with our economic rebuilding as well for the city. So there's a lot in that plan, but it starts with us.
Thanks so much for being with us here today, Sheldon. Appreciate having you on.
Thank